Live from Penn State's campus, this is Nittany Talk. I'm Jason Bardo, and in today's episode, we have the return of our politics panel, as well as an interview with UPUA Chief Justice Hayden. We will also be reacting to some spring break TikToks, talking about the latest updates with the NCAA March Madness tournament, and playing a brand new song game. Now, let's get to talking. Welcome back to Nittany Talk. Our politics panel is back with Paloma Front and Francie Ebert returning to the panel, and we are thrilled to welcome a new panelist to the table, Mitch Scordo. Welcome, Mitch. Former President Donald Trump has been in the news a lot lately. He could be getting indicted by a Manhattan grand jury for his alleged role in paying off $130,000 in hush money to adult film star Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election in an effort to silence her about their past affair. So my question to the panel, and I'm going to go to you first, Mitch, is how will this affect his chances of winning the presidency in 2024? And you're pretty knowledgeable in this area, so tell us a little bit about what this indictment means for Donald Trump.
Yeah, absolutely. So what an indictment is it ends up being a little bit different from a trial jury, as where an indictment is basically the document that comes through formally charging somebody of committing a crime. And what that ends up bringing is the grand jury trial, which is a little bit different from a trial jury. It's typically a little bit larger. And unlike the defense being able to bring in witnesses, it is almost exclusively on the side of the prosecution, them bringing in witnesses and talking about what they have on the defendant. And there's a much lower standard of proof. So instead of needing to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, the prosecution only needs to bring probable cause. So when it comes to an indictment, if the DA decides to bring charges and attempt to get an indictment, they're going to bring it if they're pretty confident that they're going to be able to indict him.
Right, because otherwise it's just a waste of tax dollars and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you guys think of the whole situation?
I think there's a lot with this. You know, I think Trump has been having speculations of activity even before he was the president. You know, this has been going on for a while, and this 5-year investigation, I would say it's been over a course of years. The fact that it's coming out now, I think, is interesting because, as we know, he's planning on running in the next election. So we'll see how it plays out. But I also think there's a lot of good candidates coming in too, both the Republican side and the Democratic side. But just overall, I do think that this will affect his presidency or his try to become president again. And we'll just see. We'll see how the cards play.
Yeah, and I also think it's worth mentioning that this isn't the only thing that he could be indicted for.
Mm-hmm.
He also could be indicted for his efforts to overturn the 2020 election results, and that's in Fulton County, Georgia. And then the Department of Justice is also looking at his election meddling and treatment of classified documents, which were found in Florida.
Right. And I think, as Francie was saying, there are a lot of new candidates coming in, and we've seen a lot of the drama, a lot of this stuff going on in the past few years, and I think people are going to want something new. People just want to focus on politics. They want to focus on, how can we fix the country? And maybe him bringing all this baggage with him, it's not going to work in his favor, especially with such great candidates that now are competing against him. Who keeps coming to my mind is DeSantis. I know he hasn't announced that he's going to run yet, but I think if he does, I would see him being one of Trump's biggest threats in this election. Not only is he young, has a beautiful family, which again, it's something the American people like. When Obama ran, that was a huge part of why people were voting for him. Even people that didn't know much about politics, they saw young man with beautiful wife, 2 little girls, and people fell in love with the idea of, this first family now in office. And I think the same thing could happen with DeSantis. A lot of America is not always that knowledgeable in politics, but I think that he does have that factor that, Trump and Biden don't have anymore. They're well into their 70s. Biden's 80 now. So just something to keep in mind.
Do you think if he's indicted and if he's criminally charged, do you think that will energize his base, or like what kind of effect do you think it will have on his supporters?
Yeah, I think that's a really important point to consider because it's absolutely without a doubt Trump has a very vibrant and loyal fan base that I believe regardless of whether or not he is indicted and charged with anything, that is a base of supporters that are going to fall in line regardless of whether or not he calls on them to still vote on him, whether or not he makes any calls like he did going into January 6th. So I do think he does have a solid base of supporters and voters that one way or another, however this plays out, he's still going to have their support in a GOP primary and in a general election should he become the nominee. But I think it is important to consider the implications for being able to win an election nationwide if an indictment should happen to come through.
Well, and I think it's important to talk about this part of it too, because a lot of people look at polls, and I'm never really a big fan of polls, and a lot of the polls people are looking at right now put Trump way ahead of everyone else, even DeSantis, even though he hasn't announced that he's going to run like we said, but it's very likely. And one of the polls that people were referencing was the CPAC poll, but a lot of people at CPAC, there's a lot of Trumpers there, and I think Trump spoke there this year, correct?
I think so, yeah.
And so, I'm kind of weary looking at polls just for those reasons. I don't think you can really trust them, and they always tend to skew one way or another.
And he's still been, visiting multiple cities and really continuing on his campaign, regardless of this indictment, on his back, which I think to his supporters is, they probably view this as nothing can take him down. So I think that while this is going to hurt him, I think that the way that maybe he's handling it right now, I'm not going to, stop my campaign completely to deal with this. I'm just going to keep going. Some people might, in a way, perhaps feel inspired by that. So, it could go either way. If he does get indicted, though, can he even run for president?
Right. Along with the Trump indictment thing, I do want to mention that Trump denies any legal wrongdoing and the notion that he had an affair with Stormy Daniels. So just need to put that out there.
Yeah, I think at this point, he really cares about I think he's presenting himself like his reputation matters, but a lot of people look at him and don't think he clearly has a line of history that's not in his favor. But as we stated before, he still has this following. He still has this crowd of people, this extremist view. And I'm quite honestly, I'm not really sure how he still has that. It goes back to the way he presents himself. But
well, quickly before we run out of time, I want to talk about who we think the Democrats can put forward, because there's only really one person in the arena since Joe Biden has announced that he's going to seek re-election, and that's Marianne Williamson. I'm sorry, she's just something else. There's not much you can really say about her. At one point she said that sickness is an illusion and does not exist. Come on, lady. There's only so much you can do.
But Biden hasn't announced, but could he, do you guys think he will announce his presidency?
Yeah, I think it's coming pretty soon, especially not being willing to give up the advantage of incumbency on behalf of the Democrats. It's assuming he stays in good health, it's really a no-brainer to try and run him again.
Well, time will tell. I can't wait for 2024. It's going to be so exciting. I love election years. Well, that's all the time we have for this discussion. But when we come back, we'll be joined by UPUA Chief Justice Hayden DeLina. We'll be right back.
The University Park Undergraduate Association is really your voice for all 40,000 plus people that go here. They're passing legislation, they're advocating for you, just like how we talked about in Faculty Senate.
How do you feel about the Final Four?
Okay, so first of all, it's crazy that no number one seeds made it. That's rare even for March Madness.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the teams that are in it, I think that UConn is definitely the best.
I saw them all the time. Fort Lauderdale was blowing up with this. People get in a massive circle, and they have two people lay on their backs, turn around and wrestle each other to see who will win.
Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So much to do.
Welcome back to Nittany Talk. I'm Jason Bardo alongside the rest of our politics panel, Paloma Frank, Francie Ebert, and Mitch Scordo. We're thrilled to welcome Hayden and Delina, the Chief Justice of the UPUA, to the table today to talk about the upcoming UPUA elections. Welcome to Nittany Talk, Hayden.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
No problem. So I want to start by asking you about what we were just talking about in our politics panel segment. What do you make of 2024? Like, who do you think is going to be the best contender to take back or stay in the White House?
You know, to be honest with you, Jace, I'm not entirely sure. I'm kind of more focused right now on the elections that are happening tomorrow in UPUA.
Perfect. As you should be. Answer like a true politician. All right, Francie,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So what is some of the legislation that you've worked on and passed over the past year that has gotten passed through the UPA?
Yeah, I haven't personally been involved in any legislation. I'm part of the judicial branch, but I'm actually very excited to talk about something that passed through Faculty Senate very much here today.
Oh, really?
And that was because we have Faculty Senate, during these Tuesdays, and they said that Elections Day is actually going to be treated kind of strongly like a snow day in a sense. That it's asynchronous remote, and that means that if you want to get out to vote, you're not obligated to go in-person classes on Elections Day in November. Unfortunately, not UPUA Elections Day. That's a next year sort of thing. But it's not necessarily a requirement for all professors. For example, if you have a lab or something like that, they might be communicating that it is in person. But it's a strong expectation that, for future elections days, it might be asynchronous. So get out to vote then.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
I
it
really
really
like
is.
saying that. We were talking about that in our
Yeah.
class in November too. Like, that's so important because then there's a lesser chance of students getting disenfranchised.
Yeah.
I want to ask you though about, for people who don't really know a lot about UPUA, like what they do in general for the university and what your branch, the judicial branch, does in particular.
Yeah, so the UPUA, the University Park Undergraduate Association, is basically like student government. But instead of like high school where it's bake sales and prom or something like that, the University Park Undergraduate Association is really your voice for all 40,000 plus people that go here. They're passing legislation, they're advocating for you, just like how we talked about in Faculty Senate, and they're really here to be your voice and make sure that you're heard. As for the judicial branch, we kind of model UPUA after our actual American government. So there's an executive, a legislative, and a judicial. I'm the Chief Justice of that. But during the spring, we actually run the elections as well. So we're here to review documents, but make sure that it's running as smoothly as possible.
So what has voter turnout been, in the past few years, and what expectations do you have this coming one?
I'm going to be a little bit blunt with you. It hasn't been the best voter turnout in recent years, in those post-COVID years. This past year for the 16th Assembly, for the 17th Assembly, we had 2,401 people vote. And for the 16th Assembly, I think it's 3,307. I was studying those.
Terrible numbers.
Yeah, terrible numbers. That's
How many kids are on this
out
campus?
of the over 40,000
yeah,
on this
40,000.
campus.
It's like around 6% or something like that. I was studying those numbers on Quizlet before I got in here.
Way to be civically engaged, Penn State.
Yeah.
How can we help that?
Well, we can help out getting out to vote and stuff like that. Before we were asking about expectations for this year.
Right.
This year, above all else, is one of the most contested elections we've seen in quite some times. So we have an executive ticket running, we have at-larges that are running, and for each of the academic colleges, we have representatives running. For the at-larges, we can only take about the top 20 vote getters, but we have 31 running. For reference, last year we only had 19 and then some write-in candidates as well. So this level of contestation, from what I can see in the archives, hasn't really been seen in quite some time. For the academic colleges, we have 3 contested those. That's liberal arts, DUS, and the business college. So for us, we're really expecting a really big turnout because of how contested it is and how much more your vote matters this year.
Yeah. And it was super exciting to see how many candidates filed to run in this election. I myself am serving one more day as an at-large representative in the UPUA up until elections tomorrow. And there's something that I've noticed is that a lot of my friends even, and many kids on this campus really don't have a great idea as to what the UPUA is, the work that we do, and the important things that we advocate for as the amplifier of the voices of the undergraduate student body. So why do you think it is important that every undergraduate on this campus really understands who we are, the work that we do, and the ways that we help them.
Well, we're endowed with a lot of responsibility. We're your voice for all 40,000 undergraduate members here, and we're also here to advocate for you because we're allowed in those rooms of Faculty Senate to directly advocate for you, just as we did with asynchronous, and that was really critical. But not only that, the student fee board, the people that allocate your student fee that you, me, and everyone here on this panel and everyone watching has to pay every year. So those people are in those rooms making those decisions, are appointed to those positions, and really advocate for you. So now more than ever, it's here for you to show up, make sure that your voice is heard so that your representative can advocate for what you want.
Now, in the last segment, we were talking about how 2024 doesn't really seem to be that contested. Yeah. Why do you think our UPUA elections are so contested this year? Like, why do you think more people have come out to run for a position?
You know what? I think credit's due in a lot of places, and I really have to shout out our PR department. Executive Director Raina Alexander and her department for UPUA has been really killing it this year, and I think it's shown up in how many people are registered, now more than ever. Not only that, President Gibbard launched the SHIP program, which is essentially our shadowing. You know, maybe you want to dip your toe in the water, see what it's like going to a UPUA meeting. We actually have a lot of people that expressed why they're registered is because of the SHIP program. So I think we've done an absolutely killer job on outreach this year, and it's really awesome to see the effects of it. And hopefully it continues for the future.
Yeah.
Do you have any other ideas besides going asynchronous that the university can, put in place in order to get more students to, vote not only on, election day for the country, but for UPUA? Like maybe it's, professors giving out reminders in class, or I don't know if they can do this, but, like an extra credit incentive, anything like that, to get people out there?
Yeah, well, we're certainly here to advocate for that. We're certainly here to listen to your ideas and stuff like that. That's a great idea that once our new batch of people are elected in, that certainly can be voiced. But as for things that we've done and are currently doing, we've done some fantastic initiatives that, every year I think we pass out about 750 plus test prep books for those that want to go to graduate school. I know I currently have one LSAT book in my backpack that's backstage right now.
You don't even walk around with an LSAT book in your backpack.
You know what? Those things are thick, but you know what? If there's ever I get a free 2 minutes, I'm just doing logic games or something like that. And now a lot of people here can do their GRE, their LSAT practices and stuff like that because of the UPUA. And we're going to continue to bring great things like that and advocate for the student body here any way we can.
So why don't you elaborate a little bit more on what the judicial branch does in particular? Like what kind of things come before them when they're in session?
Yeah, so once a week, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. in either Hub 233 or Hub 302, depending on the week and stuff like that, we host General Assembly. General Assembly, as Mitch would know, and being an at-large representative, we pass a series of bills and stuff like that, resolutions, etc. So what the J Board does is we review each of those documents for what we deem is to be fair and equitable. If we don't find something fair and equitable in part or in whole, we send it back to the legislative branch, and we really work on it and collaborate together as best as we can.
How often would you say that happens?
Well, thankfully, our legislators are so good at their job of checking and collaborating beforehand and, also involving the judicial branch when they can, that it doesn't really have to come to that all the time. Every once in a while, we do have to decide a decision. Just recently, we gave a 13-page decision over the bylaws changes and stuff like that. But it's not that often. Our main job comes in the running of elections, which we do all spring long every year.
Do you have anything you wanted to add, Mitch? You looked like you wanted to chime in.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, are there any ways that you can think of that would be best for students to be able to express their voice and what they'd like to see from their legislators?
Come to General Assembly, of course. It's hosted every Wednesday. But most of all, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day to express your voice. So go on vote.psu.edu for instructions on how to run and make sure that your voice is heard. And if you happen in the hub around then, I'm actually going to be tabling all day, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., so you'll have a chance to win a Starbucks gift card. We actually designed I voted stickers, specially made for UPUA, and we're also going to be giving out cookies and stuff like that. So make your voice heard tomorrow and maybe get a free cookie while you're at it. Who knows?
Spectacular.
Perfect. Love to hear it. Well, we unfortunately have to wrap up this discussion, but Hayden, we want to thank you for coming in on the show today. And Penn State students should keep an eye on their emails tomorrow for more voting information to cast their votes in this year's UPUA elections. Stay tuned for an update on the latest in men's basketball. For Nittany Talk, I'm Jason Bardo.
How do you feel about the Final Four?
Okay, so first of all, it's crazy that no number 1 seeds made it. I mean, that's rare even for March Madness.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the teams that are in it, I think that UConn is definitely the best.
I saw them all the time. Fort Lauderdale was blowing up with this. People get in a massive circle and they have 2 people lay on their backs, turn around, and wrestle each other to see who will win.
Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So much to do.
Welcome back to Nittany Talk. My co-host Jackson Tortone and I will be looking at the NCAA Tournaments Final Four teams, as well as picking our favorite men and women's highlights. So Jackson, let's start off with the men's tournament. Obviously the more popular tournament, but I feel like this one's a little bit more controversial. We have a number 9 seed, and we don't have any number 1 seed. So break it down for me. How do you feel about the Final Four?
Okay, so first of all, it's crazy that no number 1 seeds made it. I mean, that's rare even for March Madness.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the teams that are in it, I think that UConn is definitely the best team remaining.
I agree.
Let's be honest here.
I agree.
They've won every single game in this tournament by 15 points or more, which is crazy good.
Yeah.
And they've also, I mean, they steamrolled Gonzaga, embarrassed them. You know how that was.
Messed up my bracket.
Everyone's bracket's already screwed, yeah. So they're taking on the Hurricanes. I think they'll take that win, honestly.
Okay.
The other side, San Diego State and FAU. FAU are the underdogs. They're the Cinderella story. I think that they will compete, but I can't see them beating the Aztecs.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think FAU, they had a cool run, but they're seeded number 9 right now, and no hates them, but I don't think they're that good. I think, congrats on Final Four, congrats on, who you beat, but not that good. UConn, though, they're favorited right now. They haven't been in a Final Four since 2016. So I think for them to come back and kind of be like, hey, we're still a basketball school, would be pretty cool, especially because you have teams like FAU and San Diego State that haven't been in the Final Four for a hot minute. So who's your top player for the men's teams?
So I'm going to have to go with Jordan Hawkins.
Okay.
He went 6 for 10 from 3 in that game against Gonzaga. He had a crazy good game. I mean, the man is absolutely on fire right now. He's been carrying the offense, not completely carrying it, but carrying it from the 3-point range. So I have to go with him.
Okay, awesome. I have
you?
Nathan Mensah. He's 24, which when you hear NCAA now, 24 is not that old, especially because they have that COVID year and then they redshirt, and we have people like Sean Clifford going 25 or close to that. So 24 is not that old, but he was with them when they went to 2018 and 2019 when San Diego State went to a tournament. There are 3 players on San Diego State's team that were actually there on the 19 run, and so I think they're kind of looking for that revenge, and I think they might get it.
It's always possible.
I definitely agree.
It's always madness, yeah.
Speaking of madness, the women's tournament,
Ooh.
They are on fire. I mean, you look at it and compare it, you don't have any number 1 seed teams in the men's, but you have LSU, which is number 3, versus number 1 Virginia Tech, reigning ACC champions for the first time in school history.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty cool. And then you have number 2 Iowa against number 1 USC, University of Southern Carolina.
Ooh.
But
South Carolina.
I mixed it up. But who do you think is going to take it? Who do you think are the standouts? I mean, you have 2 number 1 seed teams. You have one that's 42 game win streak from last season with USC.
Oh my gosh, it's absolutely insane. First of all, again, USC is definitely the best team in the tournament remaining. I mean, 36-0, come on.
Insane.
Crazy. Everyone's been
Insane.
talking about it. I mean, they're almost unbeatable. But,
Yeah.
but like I said, though, almost. Iowa will stand a chance, but I got to pick them beating Iowa.
Okay.
They do stand a chance.
Okay.
As far as Virginia Tech and LSU, I'm going to have to pick LSU.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick them because of this wonderful player named Angel Reese.
Ah,
Crazy good.
she's amazing.
She is amazing. She had a great game last game, and I think that she'll carry that on. The great energy. I saw her on the bench cheering on. Once she got benched because of the blowout,
Yep.
and she'll bring that dog energy with her, and I think they'll take it.
Yeah,
the
transfer
final.
from Maryland, and she's killing it. I mean,
Maryland
she
girl,
did.
born there. Yep.
Yeah, she did good in Maryland. She's from Baltimore, but I think LSU has, Kim Mulkey's really given her her chance and her shot. Do I think they're going to beat Virginia Tech? Yes. I think Virginia Tech, they're kind of underrated, though. They're ACC champs, the first time in school history. They're going to Final Four. But I just think LSU has been on a bigger run, and I would love to see an LSU-USC rematch in the championships. What do you think?
I would love to see that, and that is what I am predicting.
Okay.
And now, when it comes down to that, I would have to go with the South Carolina Gamecocks, purely because of just how powerful they are. So,
Okay. See, I'm picking Iowa specifically because of Caitlin Clark. We cannot end this segment without talking about her triple-double, which was a 42-point triple-double. There's just never been done in the NCAA tournament by men or women, so I'm taking Iowa.
All right.
Looking ahead for the men's tournament, no matter the outcome, a #1 seed will not win. As for the women's, we will see an undefeated team go all the way, or will a standout player push her team to win it all? For Nittany Talk, I'm Sadie Protzi.
I saw them all the time. Fort Lauderdale was blowing up with this. People get in a massive circle, and they have two people lay on their backs, turn around, and wrestle each other to see who will win.
Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So much to do.
Welcome back to Nittany Talk. I'm Alexis Boyle.
And I'm Catherine Schreiner.
And for this segment, Catherine and I will be watching and reacting to spring break TikToks. Now, this should be interesting, so let's get started. Oh my God. You have food poisoning?
Yeah, so I've been seeing videos everywhere about people going to Mexico for their spring break, their college spring break, and them having to like ration gallons of water between the people like that they're on their trip with, and then of course getting food poisoning, which I feel like is quintessential like college spring break.
Oh, okay, I've been there, because when I went to Turks and Caicos, I actually got food poisoning as well. So
I probably ended up getting food poisoning. I don't even know.
no, that's just definitely not fun though. All right, so
Next one.
Let him cook! I said let him cook!
okay, so these happen everywhere. Have you seen?
No.
They happen at senior week, at the beaches, and now they happen on spring break. I saw them all the time. Fort Lauderdale was blowing up with this. People get in a massive circle, and they have two people lay on their backs, turn around, and wrestle each other to see who will win. And I'm not exactly sure what the point is.
Yeah,
for
that just
this,
sounds like wanting to fight just to fight.
But people really seem to enjoy it, so.
Obviously. Once again, quintessential college spring break. Like, you can't expect anything else out of us. There.
Focus,
Okay, next
focus,
one.
focus, focus, focus,
Yep.
focus, 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 focus.
Fair.
This is very much.
Yeah, it gets to a point where
Yeah.
you've checked out.
No, that last week was so bad for me. Like, I had so much club stuff going on, and I was out of it.
I think also doesn't help that we're at Penn State with the weather.
Yeah.
Weather-wise,
It's not
it's
fun.
cold up here, it gets rainy,
It's
it's
not fun.
dreary, and then
Yeah.
all you want is the sun
Yeah,
and the warmth
Yeah, everyone's
and the
going to like
beach.
Florida or Mexico.
Like, how can you not look forward to it?
Exactly. Next one.
Oh,
They look like little
packed. That beach is packed.
That's
Wow.
concerning. How many people are there?
Okay, first of all,
Wow.
the view is beautiful.
Yeah, that's
But
gorgeous.
I hate packed beaches. That would bother me
Yeah.
so much.
No, like I've been to like Virginia Beach and stuff and have like never dealt with a beach like that packed.
No,
Like
that
that's insane.
personally, that kind of takes out the fun
Yeah,
for me.
they look like
That-
little
It's
ants,
not quite
like-
enjoyable anymore when you
Yeah.
like can't move
Yeah,
a
there's
foot without
no
hitting somebody.
room. That's awful. Next one. Yeah. No, I kind of forgot I had assignments till that
Yeah.
last.
Well, okay, you go home. You're
Yeah.
not. Your first thought isn't going to be,
It's- yeah,
let's
it's
just
not where
jump
your
right
focus
into the
is.
homework. No, you're
Yeah.
going to put it off.
Yeah, no, I was like focusing on friends and family. Like
Yeah.
that was not at all my focus.
I got pretty lucky. I didn't really have too much work.
I had a quiz the day I got back.
That.
It was a struggle.
All right, I think this is our last.
So what is the
Wow.
craziest thing you done done this spring break?
The craziest thing I did, that's probably when I busted my toe.
Ouch.
Busted your toe doing what?
I was running in our driveway. Yeah, I messed up my sandal too. I was just running around and I busted my
Running
shoe.
around drunk.
I did the
That's not gonna
Oklahoma
feel great,
too.
but
Did you
at
win?
least she didn't break it.
I think I won. Some people say I lost, but I think they had me f***ed up. They don't
Well,
know what defense looks like.
That's what time
I'm a
on
defense-
Spring Break
Yeah, I'm a
TikTok.
defense
Did you have the
They
same
don't
reactions
know.
that we did? For Nittany Talk, I'm Alexis Boyle.
And I'm Catherine Schreiner.
Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So much to do. Welcome back to Nittany Talk. I'm Charlie Kretkow-eoke, and today we're going to finish off the show with a little game we like to call Kretkow-eoke, where I sing a song and the contestants try and guess to see what I'm singing, or some variation of that. So who would like to go first?
Why not? Give it
You
to
don't want to go
us.
first?
We got this.
All right,
We do got
here's the first one.
Uh-oh.
Take it away.
A duck walked up to a
Oh,
lemonade
he's-
stand, and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, bump, 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 got any grapes?" Your answer?
The duck song.
Ding! Point for team. What team is this? Silver?
Red.
Red! Team red. Point for team red.
Oh.
All right.
I knew that one.
Yeah, but
Well, you might know this next
well.
one because you guys get the exclusive right to answer this next one first. Now, if you don't get it right, they have the opportunity to steal. They can steal.
Not the steal.
All right.
in the bag.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
We are ready.
So I put my hands up to playing my song, the butterflies fly away. I'm nodding my
I wanna hear it
head
for a little
like
bit. I wanna hear
yeah,
it for a
moving my hips like yeah. I got my hands up to playing my song, they know I'm gonna be
That's
okay.
enough, Charlie. I'm gonna say that's a party in the USA.
Point for Team Silver.
Do we get an extra point if we say the artist?
Ooh.
Oh. Wait, that's not fair because you didn't afford the opportunity to us.
Just I didn't give them the opportunity.
Yeah, maybe round
So
two we
for
can
the-
start
Mario's got
that.
a point.
I'm just saying.
If both teams agree to naming the artist, I will add an additional point. You will get 2 points.
Sure.
So that was just the base round,
Warm
right?
up.
Got
Yeah.
it.
All right.
Got it.
Song 3.
Okay.
You guys
Yeah.
have the advantage here.
I'm
I
so
should say.
excited.
Oh, this is a favorite
I'm
of mine.
scared.
Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see, so much wrong with taking the back streets. You never know if you don't glow. Well, you never sign if you don't glow.
Hey now, you're a rock star.
Get your game on. Go play.
All right, now what's the name of the song?
It's All Star, right?
Yeah.
All Star.
By Smash Mouth.
That's 2 points for Team Red.
Let's
Look at
go.
that.
Two-point inversion.
They're at 3.
I love Shrek.
They're at 3.
That on. Shrek for the win.
So you guys still have the opportunity to catch up and make 2 points. I would just need the name of the song and the artist. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Do it.
Do what you want, but you're never gonna break me. Sticks and stones are never gonna shake me. Oh, oh, oh. Take me away. The secret place, a sweet escape. Take me away.
I actually don't know this one.
That's
Do you
an
know it?
interesting note.
Oh, wait. Take Me Away. I'm trying to remember who it was by. Oh.
Are you confident in your answer for the name of the song?
Oh. Jackson, you want to help me out here?
I literally have no idea.
I
I
will-
can't tell.
I will
It
give
was
you
so
a hint.
beautiful. The voice was so beautiful. I can't tell.
Wow.
Stop
The name of
trying
the song
to.
is in the next line.
The host. Come on. They're up.
I've got a.
Pocket full of sunshine. Pocket full of.
Mm?
Got a. Pocket full of sunshine.
Pocket full of sunshine.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Who's it by?
Why are you looking at me for the answers?
Who's it by? I don't know. I don't know who it's by.
To steal. Just a single point though.
I have no idea. Like
literally no
zero idea.
The answer is Natasha Bedingfield.
She was at. She
was at
came to fun.
Yep.
Yes,
Shame
but
on you
I
guys.
never.
Shame on you
tragic.
guys as Penn State
Sorry.
students. I
But we
hate to
got
see it. You got 1 point.
got
So
one.
it's 2 to 3.
Okay.
And now it's your guys' turn.
Okay.
Now don't forget, you can steal both parts. So if they can't get the artist, you got it. I think Marielle will like this one.
Oh?
It's been said and done. Every beautiful thought's been already sung.
Oh!
And I guess right now here's another one. So your melody will play on and on and on.
I think we're
And the
good.
best of them, you are beautiful.
Selena Gomez.
Like a dream coming live, incredible.
I
A
love you like a
centerfold
I love you like a
miracle.
love.
You saved
Please
my
stop.
life again. And I want you to know, baby.
I love you like a love song.
By
Selena Gomez!
2 points.
Selena.
So that is
All the way.
Down
5
5-2.
to 2. It's all good.
We got this.
You still got another
Do you
opportunity
like
to
the
get 2
harmonizing while
points.
you're in the middle? I think you loved it.
Let's hear Charlie.
I didn't like that.
Oh, I gotta save my breath on this one.
Oh boy.
I'm scared.
Uh-oh.
In that egg there was a bird, a rare bird, a rattling bird, and the bird and the egg and the bird and the nest and the nest and the limb and the limb and the branch and the branch and the tree and the hole and the bog down in the valley.
That's so not fair. Nobody knows who that's by. We all know what it's called. It's called Rattling Bog,
It's called rattling bog.
but none of us know
Now-
who that's by. You guys know?
I'll give you. I
We're
will
gonna
give
get a
you.
hint. We're gonna get a hint.
I will.
No.
I will give you. I can't give you a hint because personally, I don't know. But if you can name
Personally, I don't know.
the 5th thing on the list, I'll give you the point. In fact, I'll give you 2 points just to tie it up and make it interesting. The 5th thing on the list, though, they got to get it right, and it starts on bird.
It was a bird. Was that 3?
I got
The
it.
hole in the bog. Bird. Board.
The answer would be limb.
Ooh.
Oh,
Sorry.
Why didn't
All
we
right.
get a chance
Fine.
to steal that
I
one?
wouldn't have answered it correctly anyway.
5-3.
They're already way behind.
They're
trying to make it
yeah,
interesting.
here.
Okay.
They're already
My
way
brain is
behind.
fried
3
right now.
points down.
And
All
to
right.
be fair, I knew both of their songs and the artists, so we're just getting.
You might be able to
That's
steal
how
this
into
one.
it.
You might be able to steal this one 'cause we're on song 7 right now.
All right.
Song 7. Okay.
Let's hear it.
All right, let's hear it.
Left a good job down in the city,
Oh, I already know this.
working for the man
Proud Mary,
every
Tina
night
Turner.
and day. And I never lost
love
one
Proud Mary.
minute of sleeping,
This is an easy
worrying
one.
about the way that things might have been.
Can we
Big
answer?
wheel
Yeah,
keep
can we
on
answer?
turning.
Proud Mary, keep on burning. It's Proud Mary by Tina Turner.
Proud Mary, correct. 1 point for that. 6 points.
Is it not by
Wait.
Tina?
What?
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner did a cover. Oh! I know I might have been misleading and singing it in Ike Turner's voice, but the original song was
I
Bob.
only know Tina Turner.
Silver Team, would you like to steal?
You know this?
Admit it, you thought it was Tina Turner too.
Yeah, y'all thought it was Tina Turner too.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
They get a point.
You get one.
I'm sorry. I just want to be fair.
Yeah, I got the 1 pointer.
You got that one. So they are at 3 points to 6.
We're
Honestly, bravo for knowing that.
We're 4 now.
All right.
So technically we can tie it.
All right.
Wait, are we? No, we're not tied, are we?
Last song.
No.
Last song. Here we go.
Wait, who's it for?
This is for both teams.
Oh,
Oh,
Both teams.
Ooh.
wait, but
If
like,
you get it, you know what? I'll just let you.
wait, but like, do we go like that? Like how? Are we shouting
blurt
the
it- blurt
answer?
it out.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue on that famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air? High hats and arrow collars, white spats and lots of dollars, spending every dime for a wonderful time. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
I don't
Ding,
know
ding,
who
you
it's
got
by.
And it's another one that's been covered before. I'm sorry, they win. That's all the time that we have for that. We hope you enjoyed the show in my beautiful voice.
Sure.
For
We
Nittany
loved
Talk,
it.
I'm Charlie Kretkow-eoke.